guys? It's your girl, Dedicated Diva, and welcome back to another work from home podcast here today. Now, by the title, you guys can see what I'm going to talk about. So please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Again, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe for more podcasts like this. And let's get straight into it. Job are a couple of things that you have to make sure you do to prep yourself in the beginning, basically to get yourself out on the right foot. One of those things that you want to make sure you do is to create a resume. Now, a lot of people, for some reason, don't have a resume. If you have ever worked anywhere before, if you have ever did any type of volunteer work, if you have ever been an intern anywhere, you should have a resume. A resume is basically, all of your experience down on a sheet of paper, or you know, when you put it, when you upload it onto a site. Now, when you're doing your resume, you need to make sure that you leave off any personal things like your home address. I know in the past, maybe about 7 or 8 years ago, when I was going for work at home jobs and I was going for your traditional brick and mortar jobs, I would put my address on my resume. I slowly stopped doing it about 7 or 8 years back. So basically, when you resume, you want to make sure it has your first and last name, your email address. Maybe you have a Skype ID or a FaceTime ID. You want to make sure you put that on your resume. And if you're not sure what to put on your resume, you can also go to Google. I love using Google. You can put in something like resume templates, and when you put in resume templates, basically it will pull up a few templates, and you can go by the format in which that resume is, and either if you want to copy and paste your information into it, or you can just use that as an example, pull out a sheet of paper and a pen and write down what you see, and then just pull up a Google Doc or something and make that resume your own. Number two, to make sure that you have a cover letter. Now, some jobs, whether it is work from home or brick and mortar, some jobs, I would say at least 40 to 50% of jobs have start actually looking for a cover letter. And it's basically, some jobs may just hire you through a sequence of emails. They may ask you to do some type of assessment. They may ask you to do a background check, after they ask for your resume and different things like that. And the cover letter is basically just to fill in or just to sum up what was on your resume. That's what I use my cover letter for. So I work from home over 20 plus years, so I put that on there and basically just stretch everything out. Say what you did, how long you did it. You may want to talk about your call metrics, or if you had some type of, it's not on the top of my head right now, but if you had some type of metrics to go by, you may want to put the percentage of that in your cover letter. Any gaps in your employment history, you may want to put that down there, because I know a lot of work from home companies, if they actually call you to do an interview and they don't have you to do like one of those video interviews where you basically just answer some questions, record your face, and then you send it off. But if someone actually calls you, they will ask you if you had any type of gaps in your employment history. They'll ask you why weren't you working, or why is there not anything put in at a certain period of time. So that's what you to use your cover letter for. Now, just like your resume, if you're not sure what your cover letter should look like, and please make sure you don't put your resume on your cover letter, but because You guys will hear me say that in probably a couple chats if I'm talking about resumes and cover letters, because you just don't want your address out like that everywhere. If you go through the whole application process and you put it in on the application, you don't need it on your resume and your cover letter also. So that's why I say that. And I don't know any company now that just go by looking at your resume and that's it, and don't have you to fill out a actual application. So that's why I say that. Now, if you need to know what cover letter looks like, or just do the copy and paste thing and insert your information, again, look on Google, go through a Google search, put in cover letter templates, and once you put that in, it'll bring up a whole template. Number three is you want to make sure that you have or create an email address. And please, guys, don't do what I did at first. At first, a long time back, I used to make the weirdest email addresses, like, um, oh my gosh, let me think of something like Applehead, 2005, or um, Princess Face, this and that. And I would use that email address basically for everything. Long story short, when I first started working from home, I had one of those email addresses. I won't say it all the way out, but it was like Applehead 2005, something like that, at Yahoo. And the lady actually called me and we were everything, and she was like, okay, I'm gonna send all of your paperwork to Applehead 2005. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so unprofessional. Like, someone finally called me back and here I am with an Applehead 2005. So make sure your email address, if you are going to create one, if you have one, try to make sure it's kind of close to your name, where it can be um Mrs. Smith 82 at gmail.com. Try to make it where it's close to your name and it's somewhat professional, instead of being cat lover 8351 or dog lover 2505. Don't make it something like that. Try to make it close to your name where it looks professional. Let's see. And number four, this is only for if you have Gmail. And if you guys want to know how to do it, you guys can write me a comment down in the comment section and I'll show you how to. If you have Gmail, you want to create a label basically for each company that you apply for. The reason why you want to create a label within Gmail for each company that you apply for is basically whenever they send you something, and just say you had to do an assessment for Sitel. Once they send you the link and you do that assessment, you put that within the Sitel label. And just say you got something back from Concentrics and they wanted you to do a background check. Once you do the background check, you want to put that in the Concentrics label, and so on and so forth. That's so you can keep up with your email addresses, well, your emails and where they come from and what you've already done. And you will know if they're just sitting in your inbox that it may be something that you have to do. Number five, create a thank you email template for the positions that you don't get. So just say you had a recruiter that you were going back and forth with, basically that you were talking to, and it turns out that you didn't get the job and you got interviewed, or the interviewer, and you didn't get that job. You want to send them basically like a thank you, saying thank you for considering me, for this position. I had a great time in speaking with you. You may want to put some points in there that know y'all talked about basically back and forth. I've did that a couple of years back, and I got a lot of callbacks off of doing that because people tend to remember you, things like that. So even if they don't hire you for that position, once you send in, or once you send an email with that thank you in it, you stick in their brain even if you don't notice it. Now, six, you want to make sure you have a reliable phone number whenever you're looking for any type of job, no matter if it is brick and mortar or a virtual position, you want to make sure you have a reliable phone. Now, if you know your phone number, you have a lot of friends, a lot of family calling, you just have bill collectors, all this calling your phone. Trust me, I'm one of those people. If you're going to have a lot of people calling your phone, you want to set up a Google Voice. Again, that is Google Voice. You want to set up your Google Voice so you can set up a professional sounding email, and even if you don't answer and they leave you a voicemail, they be like, okay, this person sounds professional. This person, has everything in line. And you can even set up your Google Voice to come in through like an app, like, what's it called? I think it's Google Hangouts Dialer, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but you can set your calls up to come through that app. So when they ring your phone, you'll know the difference between your phone and the app. So you'll know how to pick up. You'll know not to have noise in your background and different things of that sort. Because a lot of recruiters and a lot of interviewers will call you like, do you have a quick 15 minutes to do this? Or if you don't want the number to ring your actual phone or ring the actual app, it can ring your desktop. You don't want it to do that, they can just leave a voicemail. It goes straight to voicemail. You can customize your voicemail so it don't seem like it's going to the Google. Now that we have passed all that, now if I'm not putting up any job postings for you guys, or you guys are not in my Facebook group, again, I've created a Facebook group and I'm going to try to put jobs in there every time I see some available. I won't constantly put the same job in there day after day because that's annoying, and who wants to see those pop-ups all the time. But if I'm not putting up any work at home job, you can go to Rat Race Rebellion. It's RATRACE Rebellion. REBELLION. And it's Rat Race Rebellion. You go there and they update their jobs whenever anything is. They have different tips and tricks, and they have a page where it's full of call centers. So if you guys are interested in something like that, you can go over to Red Race Rebellion if I don't have anything. And also Indeed. Excuse me, guys. Now, the difference between Red Race Rebellion and Indeed. Red Race Rebellion makes sure, just the same way I do, whenever I give you guys any work at home jobs, I make sure they are legit. If anyone email me or put anything in the comments and saying, hey, I had this problem with them and I keep seeing the same exact thing, I just don't post them. That's the same thing Red Race Rebellion do. Now for Indeed, if you go through Indeed, you will see a lot of scams and you will see a lot of actual jobs. Now, you have to know how to filter those out. Now, I will be doing a separate video on how to spot a scam when Indeed, and I'll try to bring it up on my screen so you guys can see. But basically, if it sounds too good to be true and you don't see me posting it, you don't see it up on Red Race Rebellion, and it's a couple other spots I'm gonna try to find for you guys. If you don't see anyone talking about it, or you research it and still don't see anything, don't apply for that position. If it's a job where it say customer service and it say like $19 an hour, you know that no one is hiring for $19 an hour, for one, because that job would already be gone. The only place that I've seen hiring for at least $16 an hour is PNC Bank. And that's really good to work from home. And they have incentives. If you're gonna apply to any work at home job through Indeed, make sure you do research. And that's even with me and my website, or either Rat Race Rebellion. You want to make sure you research, because you don't want to put all your information into something, fill out an application, just to only find out is a scam. Now, some small businesses do pop up where they're trying to basically kick off their call centers. But if you come across something and you don't know what to think about it, either email me, put it in my comments, and also go on my Facebook group that's going to be down in the description box. You have to click on show more. You will see my Facebook group. Answer, I think it's 3 or 4 questions, and you're automatically in. Ask me any type of question that you want to ask me there. I'll try to start posting something every couple days or every week. So if you want to ask me something, you can write up under that comment, or you can write your own post, and I'll make sure I go through everything. If you ever feel like something is a scam, you can always ask me first. Now, if you ever go on Indeed and you send your resume out and you get an email back saying that you got the job, that's impossible. Your resume, no matter how good it is not going to get you the job just right out the top. It's not going to work like that. So if you sent your resume out to someone, Indeed, and they say, well, you got the job and just fill out this paperwork, something is up there. They're either really in need of hiring people or it's just a straight up scam. And that goes along, if you don't actually speak to a person, don't do it. And if you see any typos, bad grammar, if you see an email or someone sends you an email and it basically looks like broken ebonics and broken, I mean, just, the whole email seems wrong, don't even go forward with it. um if they don't have a website, something to refer you to, don't go along with it. And yeah, that's the only thing that I can think of off the top of my head, because there's so many people to work from home. That's just a couple of tips that I have for you guys. Now, in the next chat, I'll be talking about work at home, um, work from home interviews, and later on down the line, I'll be talking about how to spot a scam.